Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Mr. Miracle issue 7. This is part of a 12-part maxi series from DC Comics. This is written by Tom King, pencils, inks, colors, and variant cover by Mitch Gerards, Clayton Cowles letter, Nick Darrington cover, Brittany Holzer associate editor, Jamie Rich editor. So I have a feeling that this book was slipped past the editor based on the sales of the first several issues. Because this book is stupid. This was a terrible issue. I'm going to tell you that right now. Barda is giving birth. We've jumped ahead several months, obviously. There's no explanation as to what happened in between the events of last issue and the events of this issue. And that's a massive jump because somebody died last issue and it was a pivotal character in the story. So it doesn't explain why these people would not be more heavily involved in the events going on New Genesis or Apocalypse. While she's giving birth, Barda requests that these other people be present, and there's some of sort of family. They show up and there's a truce because they're at a hospital and Barda's giving birth, but there's some complications with the pregnancy, and one of the women that showed up gives Scott this knife, the Farron knife that can kill gods, and he uses it and has to give it back, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you with it," and he's like, "Okay." That was pretty much the whole issue there. There's a baby. That was it. That was the entire plot of the book, was giving birth. That took 20 some pages to happen and a lot of standing around talking. Yep, this was a soap opera. This was boring. This was not a comic book. This was a telenovela. No, telenovelas are written better. This was just a boring waste of time. It wasn't building up to anything. The whole series is dragging now. After issue 5, I was with them through the first 5 issues. Last issue was dumb. This issue was just boring and extra special dumb because it all could have been summed up in 4 or 5 pages. Oh, you want to drag it out? Okay, how about 8? I don't think he knows where he's going with this. It feels like the last season of the TV show Lost, where you thought they were going to have some big reveal, and no, it was just this slapped together thing. That being said, I would not recommend this issue. I'm starting to wonder if the rest of the series is worth it. I've been putting off reading these because last issue was so incredibly boring, and this issue was so much more boring. So I'm a little concerned that the series is going to tank, and that anything that they seem to be doing in the first 5 issues was really just a clever illusion, and they just tricked us into thinking there was some greater story when really it was just Tom King doesn't know how to finish a story. So I'm a little disillusioned with this series, and I'm not going to recommend this issue. If you really like the series, good for you, but personally I would have stopped at issue 5 and just wrote my own ending, and it probably would have taken about 2 pages. So I don't know if this series is actually going anywhere, or if Tom King just sort of puts words on paper and they magically get transformed into a comic book by some bizarre act of the universe. But I'm not recommending this one. I think this was really a waste of time and of my $4. That being said, that's just my take on it. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing so you don't miss future reviews. And we hope to see you on the next one.